Have you ever wondered who will greet you when you cross the threshold from this world to the next? While many traditions speak vaguely of loved ones waiting, yogic wisdom reveals something far more specific. There is one particular soul that yours will instinctively seek first, drawn by a connection that transcends even the strongest earthly bonds. This is not mere speculation or comforting belief. Through the developed spiritual vision that comes from deep meditation, yogis have observed this pattern consistently. The departing soul, newly freed from physical limitations, moves with unwavering certainty toward one specific being whose spiritual vibration perfectly complements its own. This profound reunion represents not just comfort after the transition of death, but the continuation of your most essential spiritual relationship, a connection that has accompanied you through countless lifetimes, and that serves as your primary vehicle for evolution and awakening. Today, I will share with you the complete yogic understanding of this sacred reunion, who this being is, why your soul seeks them first, how to recognize their presence in your current lifetime, and how this knowledge transforms both your approach to death and your experience of life itself. Many people fear death as a journey into unknown darkness, or worry about the continued well-being of loved ones who have passed. Others wonder whether meaningful relationships continue beyond physical existence, or simply end at death. These uncertainties create unnecessary suffering and miss the profound reality of what actually occurs. Having guided thousands of souls in meditation and witnessed many transitions through yogic vision, I can assure you that understanding this first reunion brings extraordinary peace. It reveals death not as fearful separation, but as joyful reconnection with your most essential spiritual companion, a being who knows you completely and loves you unconditionally. What you'll learn today doesn't require accepting complex theology or adopting new beliefs. It simply illuminates a natural process that occurs for every soul, whether aware of it or not. Yet this awareness itself transforms your experience by allowing you to consciously recognize and strengthen this essential relationship even now, while still in physical form. In modern society, we have developed a profoundly limited understanding of death and what follows. Medical perspectives focus exclusively on physical cessation. Religious views often emphasize judgment or rewards based on belief and behavior. And materialistic thinking suggests consciousness simply ends at death, with all relationships permanently severed. Even spiritual traditions that acknowledge continued existence after physical death often provide only vague assurances about loved ones waiting, without explaining the specific mechanics of transition or why certain relationships transcend even death itself. This incomplete understanding creates unnecessary fear around death and prevents us from fully appreciating the profound spiritual relationships that constitute our eternal journey. Without knowing who awaits us and why, death appears as disruption rather than continuation, as ending rather than transition. The ancient yogic science of the afterlife, developed through thousands of years of direct perception by those with awakened spiritual vision, offers a remarkably different understanding. It reveals that your soul exists within a precise spiritual ecosystem, with specific relationships that continue across lifetimes, serving essential purposes in your eternal evolution. Most important among these is your relationship with what yogis call your Ishta Devata, your chosen ideal, your divine counterpart, the being whose spiritual frequency most perfectly complements your own. This relationship transcends even physical death, which is why your soul instinctively seeks this being first upon transition. In our exploration today, I will first explain exactly who this being is, that your soul seeks first after death, not just a vague loved one, but a specific spiritual relationship that serves as your primary connection to divine consciousness itself. Then I'll share the precise process of how this reunion unfolds in the moments after physical transition, what your soul experiences, how recognition occurs, and why this meeting happens before all others, even before beloved family members or friends from your most recent lifetime. Next, I'll reveal how to recognize the presence and influence of this being in your current life, the subtle signs and synchronicities that indicate their guidance, even while you remain in physical form. This awareness allows you to consciously strengthen this relationship now, rather than waiting until death for full recognition. Finally, I'll explain how understanding this essential relationship transforms both your approach to death and your experience of life, removing unnecessary fear, providing clear purpose, and revealing the continuous nature of your spiritual journey across multiple lifetimes. What might surprise you most is that this being is not always who you might expect. While sometimes appearing as a specific person in your life, this divine counterpart often works through multiple individuals at different times, or remains primarily as an inner presence rather than an external relationship. The conventional idea that we each have a single soulmate is a limited understanding of a far more profound spiritual reality. Let us begin by exploring who exactly this divine counterpart is, the being your soul instinctively seeks first upon leaving the physical body. This understanding goes far beyond conventional notions of relationships and reveals a spiritual connection of extraordinary significance. In yogic understanding, every soul exists within a vast web of relationships that span many lifetimes. Some connections are temporary, serving specific purposes within a single incarnation. Others continue across multiple lifetimes, weaving in and out of your experience in different forms. But there is one relationship that transcends all others in its spiritual significance: your connection with your divine counterpart. This divine counterpart, which we traditionally call the Ishta Devata, or chosen ideal, represents your most essential spiritual relationship, the being who serves as your primary connection to divine consciousness itself. This relationship exists beyond ordinary categories of human connection. It is neither exclusively romantic, familial, nor platonic, though it may manifest through any of these forms in different lifetimes. There are three primary forms this divine counterpart may take in relation to your soul, and understanding these forms helps clarify why this being is the first your soul seeks after death. The first form is what we might call the higher aspect. In this manifestation, your divine counterpart represents a more evolved expression of your own soul's qualities, like an elder spiritual sibling who embodies the virtues and awareness your soul is striving to develop. This being serves as both mirror and guide, reflecting your highest potential while helping you recognize and transcend your limitations. I recall a devoted disciple who, upon transition, immediately recognized his divine counterpart in this form. Though he had never met this being during his physical lifetime, the recognition was instantaneous and absolute, like recognizing your own reflection in a perfected mirror. The joy of this reunion was extraordinary, for it represented not just meeting another being but recognizing a higher expression of his own spiritual essence. The second form is the complementary aspect. In this manifestation, your divine counterpart embodies qualities that complement rather than mirror your own, creating a spiritual wholeness through the union of different but harmonious attributes. Like two puzzle pieces that fit perfectly together, this relationship completes a spiritual picture that neither soul could create alone. A remarkably clear example of this form appeared during the transition of a woman who had developed great spiritual wisdom during her lifetime, but struggled with expressing it in practical action. Her divine counterpart, whom she recognized immediately upon death, embodied precisely the qualities of dynamic manifestation that complemented her contemplative nature. Together, they created a wholeness that represented a more complete expression of divine consciousness than either could embody individually. The third form is what we might call the divine aspect. In this manifestation, your divine counterpart represents a direct expression of the particular divine quality that your soul most deeply resonates with and is evolving toward. This might appear as a specific deity, master, or awakened being who embodies the spiritual quality central to your soul's journey. I witnessed this form of reunion during the transition of an elderly monk who had devoted his life to the path of selfless service. The moment his consciousness released from the physical body, it moved with unwavering certainty toward the presence of the Divine Mother, the embodiment of compassionate service that had been his guiding ideal throughout many lifetimes. This wasn't merely meeting a deity, but recognizing the living source of the quality his soul had been cultivating. What unifies all three forms is that your divine counterpart serves as both mirror and complement to your own spiritual essence. Like the sun to a lotus, this being's presence awakens your highest potential, drawing forth qualities that might otherwise remain dormant. This evolutionary function explains why your soul seeks this. Being first after death, the reunion accelerates your spiritual development at a crucial transition point. It's important to understand the distinction between temporary physical relationships and eternal spiritual connections. Many relationships serve important purposes within a specific lifetime, but don't continue as primary connections beyond death. Your divine counterpart, however, represents a continuous thread through your soul's eternal journey, a relationship that transcends the limitations of any single incarnation. This doesn't diminish the significance of your loving relationships in physical life. Indeed, your divine counterpart often works through these relationships, temporarily manifesting through people who play important roles in your development. A parent, teacher, friend, or partner might serve as a vehicle for your divine counterpart's influence during particularly significant periods of growth or transformation. One devoted seeker described her experience of recognizing this pattern. Throughout my life, at crucial turning points, I encountered people who seemed to wake me up spiritually. Though these were different individuals in different contexts, I eventually realized they were carrying the same essential presence, a particular quality of wisdom and compassion that spoke directly to my soul. It was like recognizing an old friend wearing different clothes. This understanding helps explain why your soul seeks this divine counterpart first after death. The relationship represents not just comfort or familiarity, but your primary connection to continued spiritual evolution. The reunion serves as an essential orientation point, a recognition that grounds your soul in its eternal journey rather than in the details of its most recent incarnation. Now that we understand who this divine counterpart is, let us explore the precise mechanics of how reunion with this being unfolds in the moments after physical death. This process follows a specific pattern that has been consistently observed by yogis with developed spiritual vision. The moment consciousness releases from the physical body, a remarkable transformation occurs. The limitations imposed by physical existence, the narrowed perception, the identification with a specific form and personality, the constraints of time and space suddenly fall away. This creates an initial experience of extraordinary freedom and expanded awareness. Within this expanded state, your soul naturally attunes to its most resonant spiritual frequency, the vibrational signature that represents your unique essence. This attunement is not a conscious choice, but an automatic expression of your soul's nature, like a musical instrument naturally resonating with its fundamental tone. Once your soul establishes this resonance with its own essential frequency, it automatically recognizes and moves toward the complementary frequency of your divine counterpart. This recognition occurs not through visual perception or memory, as we understand them in physical life, but through direct vibrational resonance like two tuning forks naturally responding to each other's tone. I observed this process with remarkable clarity during the transition of my own beloved guru, Sri Yukteswar. The moment his consciousness released from physical limitations, it established its fundamental spiritual resonance and then moved with joyful certainty toward his divine counterpart. There was no searching, no confusion, no delay, simply direct recognition and movement, like a river naturally flowing toward the ocean. This reunion unfolds through three distinct stages that comprise the soul's first experience after physical death. Understanding these stages helps clarify why this meeting precedes all others in the soul's journey. The first stage is recognition. In this initial moment, your soul recognizes the vibrational signature of your divine counterpart with absolute certainty. This recognition transcends physical appearance or conventional memory. It is a direct perception of essential spiritual quality, unmediated by conceptual thought or sensory impression. Many souls describe this moment as remembering what I had always known, but somehow forgotten during physical life. A devoted meditator described her experience of this recognition. It wasn't like meeting someone new or even reuniting with someone familiar. It was more like suddenly recognizing my own true nature reflected in another, being a recognition so fundamental that it seemed impossible I could have ever forgotten it. Yet somehow during physical life, I had. The second stage is remembrance. Once recognition occurs, a cascade of remembrance unfolds, not just of your relationship with this divine counterpart across previous lifetimes, but of your own eternal nature and ongoing spiritual journey. This remembrance provides crucial context for the life just completed, revealing its place within your soul's larger evolution. This stage resembles the experience of awakening from a vivid dream. While dreaming, you become completely identified with the dream character and situation, forgetting your waking identity. Upon awakening, You not only remember your waking self, but also understand the dream from a broader perspective. Similarly, reunion with your divine counterpart triggers a spiritual awakening from the dream of your most recent incarnation. The third stage is reorientation. Through interaction with your divine counterpart, your soul reorients from identification with its most recent lifetime to awareness of its continuing spiritual journey. This reorientation is essential for proper integration of the completed life experience and preparation for what follows, whether that be entry into spiritual realms or eventually another incarnation. This process resembles a spiritual homecoming, returning to your true family after a journey in the physical world. Your divine counterpart provides both welcome and context, helping you understand the significance of where you've been and clarity about where your path leads next. You might wonder why this meeting precedes all others, even reunion with beloved family members or friends from your most recent lifetime. The answer lies in the function this reunion serves. Your divine counterpart provides essential spiritual orientation that helps your soul properly contextualize all other relationships and experiences. Without this initial orientation, you might remain fixated on the details and attachments of your most recent incarnation, missing the broader significance of your eternal journey. Your divine counterpart helps you recognize physical relationships within their larger spiritual context, not diminishing their importance, but understanding their place within your soul's evolution. I witnessed this process during the transition of a woman who had been deeply attached to her family during physical life. Her consciousness initially sought her children and husband with concern and longing, yet when her attention turned to her divine counterpart, drawn by that natural resonance, she experienced a profound shift in perspective. She still loved her family deeply, but now understood their relationship within a much larger context of spiritual connection extending across many lifetimes. This understanding answers a question many people ask: will I be with my loved ones after death? The yogic answer is more nuanced than a simple yes or no. You will indeed reconnect with those you have loved, but first, through reunion with your divine counterpart, you'll gain a deeper understanding of the true nature and purpose of all your relationships, recognizing which connections are temporary within a specific lifetime and which represent more continuous threads in your eternal journey. Now, let us explore how you can recognize the presence and influence of your divine counterpart while still in physical form. For this relationship need not remain dormant until death. It can be consciously perceived and developed during your current lifetime. Your divine counterpart maintains a continuous connection with your soul throughout your incarnation, providing guidance, support, and evolutionary pressure that helps you fulfill your spiritual purpose. This presence often works subtly, through intuition, synchronicity, and inner promptings, rather than through obvious external manifestation. There are 7 primary signs that indicate contact with your divine counterpart in your current life. Learning to recognize these signs allows you to consciously engage with this relationship now, rather than waiting until death for full recognition. The first sign is inexplicable recognition. You may encounter certain people who trigger an immediate sense of profound familiarity and significance, a recognition that goes beyond physical attraction or common interests. This feeling often includes the thought, "I've known you forever," or "I've been waiting for you," though you cannot explain why. This recognition may indicate that your divine counterpart is temporarily working through this person for a specific purpose in your development. A spiritual seeker described this experience. "When I met my spiritual teacher, I felt an immediate recognition that transcended anything I'd experienced before. It wasn't romantic or even emotional in the usual sense. It was as if my soul recognized something essential that my mind couldn't yet comprehend. Years later, I understood that my divine counterpart was working through my teacher during a crucial phase of my spiritual awakening." The second sign is evolutionary tension. Your divine counterpart often creates a benevolent pressure that pushes you beyond comfortable limitations toward greater spiritual growth. This may manifest as persistent inner questioning, divine discontent with the status quo, or a subtle pull toward experiences that challenge and expand your current understanding. This evolutionary tension resembles the relationship between sun and seed. The sun doesn't force the seed to grow, yet its warmth and light create conditions that awaken the seed's innate potential. Similarly, your divine counterpart's influence creates optimal conditions for your spiritual unfoldment without violating your free will. The third sign is synchronistic guidance. At crucial decision points or during significant transitions, you may experience remarkable synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that provide direction or confirmation. These synchronicities often appear when your divine counterpart is actively guiding your journey, creating external signals that complement internal intuition. A woman shared her experience of this guidance. When I was considering a major life change but filled with doubt, I experienced a series of synchronicities so specific and meaningful that they couldn't be dismissed as random chance. Books would fall open to exactly the passage I needed. Strangers would say precisely the words that addressed my unspoken questions, and opportunities would appear that perfectly matched my unexpressed needs. It felt like a loving intelligence was orchestrating events to guide me forward. The fourth sign is dreams and visions of unusual clarity and impact. Your divine counterpart often communicates through the dream state, when your conscious mind is receptive and your analytical thinking temporarily suspended. These dreams typically carry a distinctive quality, clearer, more coherent, and more impactful than ordinary dreams, often leaving a lasting impression that affects your waking choices. These communications may include direct guidance, symbolic messages, or simply a strengthening of your connection with this being. Many spiritual practitioners report dreams in which they receive specific teachings or insights that significantly advance their development, only to discover later that these experiences represented contact with their divine counterpart. The fifth sign is intuitive, knowing that transcends your current knowledge or experience. You may sometimes have access to wisdom, insight, or understanding that seems to come from beyond your personal learning or experience. These moments of intuitive knowing often represent your divine counterpart sharing perspective or knowledge to assist your journey. A scientist described experiencing this phenomenon during a research impasse. After weeks of frustration, I suddenly knew the solution to a problem I'd been struggling with, not through logical deduction, but through a direct download of understanding that seemed to bypass my analytical thinking entirely. The solution proved correct and opened new research directions I hadn't previously considered. It felt like receiving assistance from a more expansive intelligence that understood both my work and its broader implications. The sixth sign is the awakening of latent spiritual capacities. Your divine counterpart often helps activate dormant spiritual abilities or qualities when the time is right for their expression. You might experience sudden development of intuition, compassion, creativity, or other qualities that seem to unfold from within rather than being learned from without. This awakening resembles a master musician helping a student discover abilities that were always present but not yet accessible. The capacity exists within you, but the presence and influence of your divine counterpart helps bring it into active expression at the appropriate time in your development. The seventh sign is a persistent inner relationship that feels more real than many external connections. You may experience an ongoing inner dialogue or relationship with a presence that provides consistent guidance, support, and companionship throughout your life's changes. This inner relationship often represents direct communion with your divine counterpart. A contemplative described this experience. Throughout my adult life, I've maintained an inner relationship with a presence I cannot name or fully describe, yet which feels more real and constant than many of my human relationships. This presence doesn't speak in words so much as communicate through direct understanding. It has guided me through every major transition and challenge, providing wisdom that consistently proves trustworthy when applied. What's particularly important to understand is that your divine counterpart may work through multiple people at different stages of your life, rather than being exclusively identified with a single individual. A parent might temporarily embody this presence during your formative years, a teacher during your educational phase, a partner during another period, and a friend or colleague during yet another. This pattern explains why some relationships that seem incredibly significant during certain life phases may later diminish in intensity or relevance. Your divine counterpart may work through specific people for particular purposes, then shift to other vehicles as your developmental needs change. Recognizing this pattern helps prevent unnecessary attachment to the temporary forms through which this eternal relationship expresses. The distinction between external manifestations and internal guidance is also important to understand. While your divine counterpart may sometimes work through external relationships, the most consistent and direct connection occurs through internal communion, through meditation, prayer, contemplation, and intuitive dialogue. This inner relationship provides a constant touchstone regardless of external circumstances. Even when alone or during periods of transition between significant relationships, this inner connection remains available as a source of guidance, comfort, and evolutionary pressure. There are specific practices that can strengthen your awareness of this essential relationship while still in physical form. Regular meditation creates receptivity to subtle perception, allowing you to recognize your divine counterpart's presence more consistently. Journaling about synchronicities, dreams, and intuitive guidance helps identify patterns of communication. And conscious invocation through prayer, mantra, or visualization can temporarily intensify the connection for specific guidance or support. By developing awareness of your divine counterpart during physical life, you create continuity of consciousness that will make the eventual reunion after death even more harmonious and productive. Rather than waiting until transition for recognition, you establish an ongoing relationship that simply deepens and clarifies when physical limitations fall away. Now, let us explore how understanding your eternal relationship with your divine counterpart transforms both your approach to death and your experience of life. For this knowledge doesn't merely provide comfort regarding the afterlife, it fundamentally changes how you perceive and engage with your current incarnation. Perhaps the most immediate benefit is the release of fear around death. When you understand that death represents not oblivion or judgment, but reunion with your most essential spiritual companion, unnecessary anxiety naturally dissolves. Death becomes not an ending, but a continuation, a return to a relationship more fundamental than any physical connection. A hospice worker who incorporated this understanding into her approach shared, "I've observed remarkable differences in the transition process between those who fear death and those who anticipate reunion. Those who understand death as reconnection with their divine beloved typically experience a smoother, more peaceful transition. Their final days often include moments of recognition and joy rather than only struggle and fear." Beyond releasing fear of death, this understanding transforms your experience of life itself. Rather than feeling fundamentally alone in your journey, you recognize that you live in continuous partnership with a being who knows you completely and supports your highest evolution. This awareness of divine companionship provides both comfort during challenges and guidance during confusion. Life becomes a conscious collaboration rather than a solo journey. Like dance partners moving in harmony, you and your divine counterpart work together to create the experiences necessary for your spiritual unfoldment. You begin to perceive life events not as random occurrences, but as choreographed opportunities for growth and awakening, co-created with your eternal companion. This perspective particularly transforms how you view life's difficulties and challenges. Rather than seeing obstacles as punishment or meaningless suffering, you recognize them as opportunities for development experiences, deliberately chosen in partnership with your divine counterpart to facilitate specific aspects of your evolution. A woman who had endured significant health challenges shared how this understanding transformed her experience. "When I began to view my illness not as random misfortune, but as an experience co-created with my divine counterpart for specific developmental purposes, everything changed. The suffering didn't disappear, but it acquired meaning and purpose. I could engage with it consciously rather than merely enduring it, and eventually, I recognized how it had developed precisely the spiritual qualities I had been lacking." Another profound transformation occurs in how you perceive and engage with other relationships. Understanding your connection with your divine counterpart provides context for all other relationships, helping you recognize which serve temporary purposes within a specific lifetime and which represent more continuous connections in your eternal journey. This clarity prevents the common mistake of expecting any human relationship to fulfill your soul's deepest needs, a burden no temporary connection can bear. When you recognize and nurture your relationship with your divine counterpart, other relationships can assume their proper place and purpose without being overwhelmed by unrealistic spiritual expectations. Perhaps most significantly, this understanding establishes a foundation for building conscious communication with your divine counterpart through meditation and other spiritual practices. Meditation becomes not merely a technique for stress reduction or mental clarity, but a means of direct communion with your most essential spiritual relationship. This communication resembles a spiritual telephone, a direct line to wisdom, guidance, and support that transcends physical limitations. Through regular practice, you can develop increasingly clear and consistent connection, receiving specific guidance for your unique path and challenges. A meditation practitioner described the evolution of this connection. When I began meditating, I experienced only brief moments of connection with my divine counterpart, flashes of guidance or presence that would quickly fade. But with consistent practice over years, this connection developed into an ongoing dialogue available whenever I turn my attention inward. This inner relationship has become my primary source of guidance and spiritual nourishment, complementing but not replacing my human connections. By living in conscious awareness of this eternal relationship, you essentially begin the reunion process while still in physical form, rather than waiting until death for recognition. This creates a continuity of consciousness that will make your eventual transition smoother and more harmonious, for you will be moving toward a presence already familiar rather than encountering it as if for the first time. As we conclude our exploration of this profound spiritual understanding, I invite you to sit quietly for a moment and contemplate the presence of your divine counterpart, the being who has accompanied your soul through countless lifetimes and who will be the first to greet you when you transition beyond this physical existence. This is not a distant deity or abstract concept, but your most intimate spiritual companion, the being whose vibration perfectly complements your own, who knows you completely and loves you unconditionally. Even now, as you listen to these words, this presence remains with you, guiding your highest development and awaiting your full recognition. Understanding this essential relationship transforms death from fearful unknown to joyful reunion. The threshold between worlds becomes not a barrier, but a doorway through which you will pass to reconnect with your most beloved spiritual companion. This certainty brings profound peace that dissolves unnecessary anxiety about what awaits beyond physical existence. But perhaps even more importantly, this understanding transforms your experience of life itself. You need not wait until death for connection with your divine counterpart. Through meditation, prayer, and attentive awareness, you can develop conscious communication with this presence now, receiving guidance, support, and love from your eternal spiritual companion. Remember that while this divine counterpart may sometimes manifest through specific people in your life, its essence transcends any single physical relationship. Look for the signs we've discussed, the inexplicable sense of recognition, the intuitive guidance that comes in crucial moments, the dreams and synchronicities that seem to lead you forward on your path. These are the fingerprints of your divine counterpart working in your life. If you found value in today's teaching, I invite you to explore my video on the 3 worlds through which your soul travels, where I reveal the complete journey of consciousness beyond physical existence. This understanding provides essential context for the divine reunion we've explored today. Until we meet again, may you walk in conscious awareness of the divine presence that accompanies you always, and may you recognize that death is not an ending, but a reunion with the one who has loved your soul through eternity. What if the very fabric you wear holds not only the warmth of your body, but the memory of your past suffering? What if your closet's silent and seemingly benignous, whispering back to your soul the echoes of old identities, forgotten griefs, quiet failures, unspoken fears? Beloved one, many souls walk through life, wondering why a heaviness clings to their thoughts, why prayers rise slowly, why joy visits briefly only to be overshadowed by invisible shadows. They seek outward reasons for inner stagnation, never realizing that even their garments may be repositories of karma-off vibrations left unresolved and untransformed. Matter is not lifeless. Yogananda taught that everything in creation, down to the smallest atom, vibrates with thought and energy. That which you wear closest to your skin, the cloth that touches your body day after day, does not simply age and thread and dye, absorbs your moods, your intentions, your silent battles. Every fabric, like a sponge, takes in the vibration of the wearer, and unless consciously cleansed, physically, mentally, spiritually, it continues to carry the invisible residue of its history. Clothing, though it may seem a mundane concern to the ego, is in fact an extension of your vibratory field. The body is the temple. The clothing is the outer shrine. When you wear the same shirt you cried in during heartbreak, or the coat you wore while suffering silently through depression, or even a garment handed down from someone who carried great heaviness consciously or unconsciously, you invite those stored vibrations to commune with your aura. And often, without realizing it, The soul is re-entrapped by vibrations it no longer identifies with, but has not yet released. This is not superstition. This is metaphysics. The unseen world is not governed by material logic, but by spiritual resonance. The astral body, the subtle sheath that overlays your physical form, remembers what your mind forgets. And the fabric against your skin acts like a second nervous system, echoing back the past into the present if not consciously renewed. You may be doing all the right practice praying, meditating, affirming, but still feel stuck, as though your life will not move forward. And perhaps you've never thought to ask, what old self am I still wearing? So I invite you, with sacred honesty and gentle courage, to peer into your drawers and closets, not merely as a householder, but as a soul on pilgrimage. Look at the clothes not as fashion or function, but as vibrational extensions of memory. Feel each one. Ask not, do I still like this? But instead, does this still match the vibration I want to live in? Does this reflect the divine identity I now claim? This is the beginning of freeing yourself from unconscious karmic residue. This is the beginning of lightening the load. This is the unveiling of a truth long hidden in plain sight, that even what you wear can keep you bound or help you rise. To awaken to the subtle chains that bind you is the beginning of spiritual courage. And perhaps there is no chain subtler, no fetter more quietly persistent than the familiar heaviness you have come to tolerate without question. Just as old garments cling to the body, old karmic patterns cling to the soul, and behind many of them stands a great teacher disguised in shadows. Saturn, or Shani, the slow-moving planet of trials, delays, and refinement. In the yogic astrology of the East, Saturn does not torment you out of cruelty. He needs your ego like a potter needs clay, slow and unrelenting, not to destroy but to shape. He brings weight not to punish, but to reveal where you are still attached to weight. Yogananda, in his divine insight, taught that the planetary forces are not external dictators of fate, but cosmic mirrors showing you what is yet unmastered within. Saturn's presence in your life, whether through karmic delay, emotional stagnation, or seemingly immovable circumstances, is often misunderstood. The ego fears it, labels it as bad luck, or avoids it altogether. But the soul, once awakened, recognizes Saturn as the spiritual surgeon who cuts away illusions with great precision and infinite patience. His energy compels you to examine what has become habitual, heavy, unnecessary. And among these, the things you cling to, physically old possessions, old clothes, old images of self, become the very ground upon which Saturn presses his silent foot. You may have wondered why, despite your efforts, progress feels blocked. Why abundance flirts at the edge of your life, but never fully enters. Why joy arises but cannot linger. Beloved, consider this. Could it be that your outer life still carries the karmic signature of an identity that no longer serves your soul's journey? Could it be that Saturn is not delaying your blessings, but waiting for you to lay down the garments of who you were, so that the vibration of who you are becoming can finally take root? This is the law of divine courage, the willingness to let go before the next thing is revealed. It is the trust to discard the familiar even when the new has not yet arrived. Just as the tree must shed its leaves to survive winter, you too must release the symbolic coverings of past cycles clothing that carries sorrow, trauma, old roles, outdated self-images. These garments, however mundane they seem, are not neutral. They vibrate with yesterday's consciousness. And Saturn, in his stern compassion, will not allow the next octave of your destiny to unfold while you still wear the aura of old karmic weight. So be brave. Not in the dramatic sense, but in the subtle, holy act of detachment. Take one item just on and ask, do I wear this from alignment or from inertia? From inspiration or from memory? If it carries grief, bless it and release it. If it symbolizes your ego more than your soul, let it go. This is not about wealth or fashion. It is about vibration. It is about spiritual magnetism. It is about the hidden language of energy that Saturn watches with silent eyes, waiting for the soul to align its outer temple with its inner light. To walk forward, uncloaked by the past, is to say to Saturn, I am ready. I will no longer delay my own liberation. That is the true power of surrender, not passive resignation, but conscious release. And once you begin, the heaviness will start to lift. Not all at once, but surely. You will feel it in your breath, in your posture, in your mood. Saturn will no longer be the slow shadow, but the clear guardian, the gatekeeper who smiles quietly as you step freed and luminous into the next phase of your becoming. And now we enter the sacred chamber where realization becomes movement, where the understanding of karma, Saturn, and vibration is not left upon the altar of thought, but is brought into action, deliberate, conscious, liberating action. Action is the doorway through which transcendence walks. And in the most intimate of actions, deciding what to keep and what to release from your own wardrobe, your soul is given a chance to graduate from memory to mastery. This, dear one, is not merely an exercise in minimalism or tidiness. This is karmic surgery. This is a spiritual rite cloaked in cloth, and you are the officiant. You see, your garments are more than fabric. They are symbols. They are vessels that once contained your consciousness in times of joy, pain, confusion, pride, fear. Think now of the clothes you wore during your most trying seasons, those years when grief was your constant companion or self-doubt sat beside you like a shadow. Maybe you have a coat heavy not because of thread, but because it clings to the memory of nights you felt invisible. Perhaps a shirt that fit your body but not your soul, or shoes that walk through betrayal and still carry the dust of disillusionment. These items, however well folded, are not neutral. They hum with the echo of who you were. And unless you act, they will anchor you to a past the soul has already outgrown. To discard them is not rejection, is reverence. You honor their place in your story, and then you let them go, with a prayer and a breath. Yogananda taught that the material world is not evil, but charged. Everything carries prana, and that prana can either lift you or hold you. When you courageously part with a garment that once bound you, you are not just cleaning your closet. You are declaring to the universe, I am not who I was. I have heard the call to rise. And in that declaration, the spiritual law moves. You release one thread, and the entire web of that karmic entanglement begins to loosen. Even more subtle are the clothes that served as identity costumes. These are the garments you wore to appear strong when you were afraid, important when you felt unseen, desirable when you doubted your worth. And while they may still fit your body, they no longer serve your spirit. They belong to a version of you shaped by ego, not essence. To keep wearing them is to say to the universe, I am still performing the self I once created to survive. But to release them is to say, I am ready to live as the self I was born to be. This is not about judgment, it is about release. With each article you let go, your aura lightens, your posture shifts, and your spiritual magnetism grows stronger. So I invite you to make of this action a holy ritual. Light a candle, play sacred music, hold each piece of clothing to your heart, and ask, does this serve who I am becoming? If not, give thanks. Then release it, donate it, cleanse it, burn it if guided, but let it go. In this action, you transcend the gravitational pull of old karma. You rise, you stand at the threshold of the new. And Saturn, who once stood as your tester, now becomes your witness, watching with still eyes as you pass the test not by waiting, but by moving, by choosing, by releasing. For liberation does not come only through meditation or mantra, it comes through choice. And this choice, so small in appearance, carries the vibration of a soul who is no longer afraid to be free. Now that you have begun to release the past, not just in concept but in fabric, not only in the mind but through sacred gesture, it is time to install the deeper truth, the eternal truth of who you are, not as a memory, but as divine identity. For as the soul casts off the clothing of former burdens, it must also clothe itself anew, not in silk or gold, but in spiritual confidence, in the invisible garment of remembrance that proclaims, I am not who I was, I am a spark of the infinite. I walk in the world as God's living vibration. And what you wear, beloved, should reflect that vibration not as fashion, not as costume, but as an extension of your inward light. This is not a doctrine of aesthetic obsession. It is a revelation of energetic alignment. The soul, though formless, expresses through form, and what wraps your body becomes a message your subconscious reads each day. Ask yourself, with quiet reverence, when I dress, do I dress in resonance with the soul I am, or in echoes of a self long past? You may find that many of your garments speak of survival, of performance, of trying to prove something to a world that never understood your light. They were once tools, perhaps, but now they are relics. The time has come to wrap yourself in purity, not merely physical cleanliness, but spiritual clarity. Yogananda wore white not for tradition alone, but to reflect the soul's desire to be uncluttered, available, empty of noise, full of light. In white, there is no pretense. There is invitation. You need not wear white robes, but you must ask, does what I wear help me remember God? Does it support my stillness, my sacred focus, my joy? If a garment pulls your mind toward vanity, or shame, or competition, then it is not for you, not now, not if you are serious about freedom. But if it reminds you, even subtly, of silence, of simplicity, of sacred purpose, then it is blessed, no matter how plain. So install your new clothing with intention. Fold your garments with care, not in robotic habit but in holy recognition. This cloth will touch the temple of my body, which houses the altar of my soul. Before you wear it, offer a thought to God. Hold it to your heart. Say quietly, may this reflect not the world's illusion, but the soul's truth. Dress not in haste but in prayer. You are preparing yourself not merely for public life, but for inner communion. Even the act of dressing can become a yoga when you make it conscious, devotional, and sacred. And with every thread, reaffirm the truth you are now embodying. I do not wear the past. I wear my divine remembrance. I wear the peace of God. I wear the identity of the soul awakened. These words are not decoration, they are installation. With each repetition, they form a pattern in your subtle body, reinforcing the new vibration you have chosen. And over time, the outer clothing will become secondary. For the inner garment, the robe of spiritual confidence will shine so clearly through your gaze, your movement, your silence, that even the stars will bow before the radiance of your becoming. Spiritual transformation is not the product of a single revelation, nor is it secured by one act of courage alone. It is sustained through rhythm, through daily, sacred, unshakable practices that build an inner atmosphere of clarity, purity, and divine alignment. And now, having glimpsed the truth about clothing, karma, and vibratory identity, it is time to ground that insight into practicino grand gestures, but daily rituals born of inner bravery. For it takes courage not just to let go once, but to live every day as one who remembers their soul. That courage must become habit. It must move from thought to body, from longing to action. Each morning, when your body rises from sleep, know that you are not simply waking into another day, you are waking into another opportunity to walk as a soul, not a shadow. The first moment you touch your clothing should be reverent, intentional, fearless. Begin by cleansing what you wear, not only with water but with light and mantra. If possible, place your garments in the sun for a few hours each week, allowing the solar rays, the purest physical form of divine pranata, burn off any residual vibrations. Light is the great purifier. Just as it clears the air, it can clear the aura of what you wear. If you feel the weight of past vibrations still clinging to certain items, place a pinch of sea salt in water and dip the garment, or sprinkle it lightly across the cloth, chanting a simple mantra as you do so. You might speak the name of God in any form you love. Om, Krishna, Christ, Divine Matheras, you cleanse. The vibration of these names pierces the subtle realm. Yogananda taught that even physical actions become spiritual when infused with conscious devotion. Do not underestimate the power of salt, sun, or sound. These are gifts given by God to purify not only the body, but the energetic environment in which the soul must dwell. Before you dress, stand in stillness and breathe slowly. Place the garment against your heart and pray, may what I wear reflect who I am in God. May it guard my inner light. May it carry the vibration of peace, purity, and power. Then as you clothe the body, feel that you are also clothing the soul not in disguise, but in sacred continuity. Every sleeve, every thread, every fold is part of your spiritual armor, not to fight the world, but to stay anchored in your divine identity as you walk through it. And as the day unfolds, when you feel heaviness returning or stagnation creeping in, pause not to analyze, but to reset. Gently smooth your clothes, adjust your posture, breathe in deeply and say, this is not the body's garment alone. This is the soul's temple. I walk as light. These simple acts become inner bravery practices, not rooted in effort, but in remembrance. Each time you do them, you signal to your aura, to Saturn, to karma itself. I am no longer asleep. I live in vibration. I walk in the current of God's law. And now, beloved, we come to the final veil, the mystical remembrance that ties all threads together and leaves you clothed not in concepts, but in the quiet knowing that you are free. You have searched your drawers and closets, not merely for fabric, but for symbols. You have held old shirts, not to fold, but to forgive. You have released garments not just to create space in your room, but to create space in your karma. You have stood before your reflection and asked not, do I look right, but do I feel aligned? And all of this, every action, every breath, every courageous yes to letting go has brought you here, to the deeper realization. The soul, too, is clothed. Yogananda said the soul wears the body as it wears clothes temporarily, purposefully, but never permanently. And just as you cast off old garments, so too shall you one day cast off the body. The wise do not wait for death to begin releasing the past, they begin now, gently, daily, with reverence. For the soul does not need to be purified. It is already pure. But the karmic dust, the coverings of identity, fear, history, memory, attachment, these must be blown away by the breath of consciousness, one layer at a time. There is no part of your life too small for transformation. What you wear, what you carry, what you keep, it all vibrates, it all speaks. The closet becomes a mirror. The mirror becomes a portal. The portal leads not outward, but inward. And there, in that sacred inner space, you will hear the whisper of the infinite. You were never the one who suffered. You were never the one who clung. You were always the light, hidden under robes too heavy to shine. Saturn, once feared, now bows to your awareness. For Shani, the slow teacher, only delays what the soul still fears to release. When you let go, you no longer resist his lessons. You walk beside him, you thank him. And you move forward lighter, freer, clothed in nothing but your own divine radiance. So now, I bless you, not as a distant voice, but as a soul who remembers its home in yours. May your wardrobe become a sanctuary. May your body become a temple. May your aura become a prayer. May your life become an ever-new act of shedding and remembering, of surrendering and ascending. And when you wear your next garment, may you feel not thread or cotton or silk, but the truth. I am the soul. I am the light. I am clothed in God. Beloved soul, have you ever paused to truly wonder why some people seem to carry a light in their faces, a radiance that no worldly stress can dim, while others appear weighed down, their bodies aging faster than their years, their vitality dimmed by invisible burdens? Yogananda taught that this is not a mystery of chance or fate, is the unseen power of thought shaping the very structure of our bodies, moment by moment, day by day. Thoughts are not wisps of imagination floating harmlessly through the mind. No, beloved, each thought is a living energy, a current of vibration that enters the brain, pulses through the astral spine, and impresses itself upon the very cells of your physical form. Like a sculptor chiseling away at marble, your repeated patterns of thinking silently sculpt the temple of your body. Imagine your mind as a divine gardener and your body as the garden itself. Every thought you plant takes root in the subtle soil of your astral body, which is the blueprint of your physical form. Over time, these invisible seeds sprout and blossom into tangible effects: health or disease, vitality or weakness, harmony or imbalance. Yogananda revealed that our bodies are not fixed mechanical machines as material science suggests. They are living fields of energy molded by consciousness itself. Your cells are listening, always listening, to the vibrations of your mind, obeying its commands with unquestioning devotion. This is why, when your thoughts are anxious, dark, or fearful, your body responds in kind, tightening its tissues, disrupting its natural rhythms, lowering its defenses. And yet, when your thoughts rise upward towards spirit, infused with peace, joy, and divine remembrance, they flood the nervous system with cosmic life force, rewiring the cells with health and radiant vitality. From the dawn of creation, God designed this mysterious connection as a gift, allowing you to channel divine intelligence directly into your body. The masters have said, you are not a helpless prisoner of heredity. nor are you condemned to suffer under the weight of unconscious habits forever. Every thought you choose carries with it the power to renew, restore, and even recreate your physical form. Scripture whispers this truth: "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." These are not poetic words, they are laws of spirit echoing through the ages. When you think rightly, in harmony with divine truth, you reshape the astral patterns that sustain your cells, and thus you reshape your destiny itself. This hidden science of thought has been forgotten by many in the modern world. We treat illness as if it were a random attack from outside forces, ignoring that it often begins as disharmony within. We chase after remedies for the body while neglecting the consciousness that commands it. Yogananda revealed that the mind is the queen bee and the body is the hive. If the queen moves in divine rhythm, every cell of every bee follows in harmony. But if the queen is restless or lost in shadow, confusion spreads through the entire hive. To heal and uplift your body, you must begin by lifting the vibrational commands center your thought. Beloved one, let us enter this divine science together. In the next part of this journey, I shall reveal how negative thoughts silently disrupt the harmony of your cells and weave karmic patterns of illness. But do not be afraid, for just as these patterns can be created, they can also be unmade, dissolved in the radiant power of spirit-infused thinking. With every conscious, uplifting thought, you can rewrite the destiny of your body and awaken health that glows like a sun from within. Beloved soul, let us now shine light upon the shadowed patterns that many carry unknowingly, the negative thoughts that silently weave illness and disharmony into the temple of the body. Yogananda taught that fear, anger, resentment, and ceaseless worry are not merely emotions passing through the mind. They are powerful vibrations that lodge themselves in the astral body, crystallizing into energy knots along the astral spine. These knots obstruct the natural flow of prana, the divine life force that animates every cell. And when that flow is obstructed, your physical body begins to reflect the disharmony of thought. Consider how, in moments of deep anger, the heart races, the breath grows shallow, and muscles tighten as though preparing for battle. The body obeys the mind's command instantly. Similarly, long-held fear sends silent signals through the nervous system, keeping your cells in a state of chronic tension, unable to fully regenerate or heal. When hopelessness or self-doubt lingers day after day, it suppresses the vibratory intelligence of the body, weakening its immune defenses and even altering its chemistry. Modern science calls this stress, but Yogananda saw it as something far deeper: karma being written into the body through thought, vibrating down into the astral and physical planes. Even memories from the past can leave lingering impressions on your cellular consciousness. Traumas unhealed, regrets unredeemed, these dwell in the subconscious as thought forms that replay their energy over and over, subtly shaping posture, breath, and cellular behavior. A person who silently repeats to themselves, "I am weak, I am unworthy," is unknowingly instructing trillions of obedient cells to echo that belief. These cells, like loyal servants, align their functioning to match the vibration of the mind. Over time, this becomes not just a thought but a lived physical reality. But beloved, do not be disheartened. What has been written in the language of negative thought can be rewritten in the luminous script of divine remembrance. Yogananda revealed that just as darkness cannot survive before a lamp's flame, no negative vibration can remain when divine light is introduced through conscious, uplifting thought. This is why saints radiate health and joy even in the face of worldly suffering. Their minds no longer harbor the vibrations that create illness. They have tuned every thought to the harmony of spirit. Pause with me now. Close your eyes gently and take a slow, deep breath. Imagine that each inhale draws in a current of pure, divine energy, golden light filling your brain, your spine, every nerve and cell. As you exhale, silently release every thought of fear, anger, and unworthiness. Feel it leaving you like dark mist dissolving in sunlight. Whisper inwardly, "These thoughts are not my truth. I am Spirit's light, and every cell in me vibrates with divine harmony." In this quiet moment, know that you have already begun the rewiring of your cells. With each conscious release of negativity, you make room for divine intelligence to flow unimpeded, to heal and regenerate what was once weakened. In the next part of this journey, I shall guide you into the transformative power of positive, divine thought, the living energy that restores your body and rewrites the very pattern of your life. Beloved one, having released the shadows of negative thinking, let us now awaken to the radiant truth Yogananda revealed. Positive, spiritual thought is not merely a pleasant state of mind, it is living divine energy, a current of cosmic life force that can rewire every cell of your body and transform the entire field of your consciousness. Each time you hold a thought of divine love, each moment you silently affirm truth and light, you are not just imagining goodness, you are inviting spirit itself to flow through your astral spine, infusing your cells with vitality, clarity, and healing power. Picture your body as a magnificent orchestra. Every cell is an instrument awaiting the conductor's direction. When thoughts are erratic or clouded with fear, the orchestra plays in discord, each instrument out of tune, creating confusion in your body's rhythms. But when your thoughts rise in harmony with spirit, when they are anchored in faith, joy, and divine remembrance, the conductor, the higher mind, brings every instrument into perfect unison. The music of your being becomes so attuned to cosmic intelligence that even the smallest cell vibrates with the melody of divine order, restoring health and awakening strength that may have slept for years. Yogananda said that a single spiritual affirmation, repeated with deep faith and concentration, carries enough power to change the chemistry of your brain, to uplift the currents of your nervous system, and to send healing instructions to every organ and tissue. This is not imagination. This is spiritual law. Thoughts of divine love and wisdom align your astral body with higher frequencies of cosmic energy. And because the physical body is merely the shadow of the astral, it too begins to reflect this upliftment. Illness fades, vitality returns. Even the face and posture shift to mirror the awakened light of the soul. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a golden sun glowing within your spiritual eye, radiating beams of light throughout your brain and down the spine, flooding every part of you with warmth and brilliance. Now silently affirm, every cell of my body shines with divine light. My thoughts are channels of spirit's healing energy. Feel these words as living truth, not just sounds in the mind. Each time you repeat this with focused awareness, you are not only inspiring yourself, you are sending real, tangible currents of divine power through the astral pathways that govern your physical form. When you learn to sustain such divine thought, a transformation begins. The body that once seemed heavy and prone to illness gradually feels lighter and freer. Old habits of weakness give way to vitality. Emotional turbulence calms into serenity, and a natural joy radiates outward, drawing others into its glow. This is the hidden power of thought, not only to change your mood, but to rewrite the cellular script of your entire being, reconnecting you with the immortal energy of your soul. In the next part of our journey, beloved, we shall deepen this understanding by entering the sacred practice of thought transmutation, where you will learn how to consciously direct divine currents into your cells, reshaping your health and destiny from the inside out. Beloved soul, now that you have felt how divine thought begins to restore harmony to your being, it is time to enter the sacred practice of transmutation, the deliberate transformation of ordinary mental energy into luminous currents of healing light that flow through your astral body and rewire every cell. This practice, revealed by great masters like Yogananda, is not complex, nor does it require special rituals or tools. It is simply the art of conscious, spirit-infused attention, focused with unwavering devotion and faith, until your very thinking becomes a channel for God's intelligence to move through you. First, understand this. Every thought you hold has a vibratory tone, a color, a subtle scent in the astral world. Lower thoughts soft fear, bitterness, self-doubt are heavy vibrations that cloud the astral body like smoke. Higher thoughts soft truth, divine love, gratitude shine like radiant streams of light. The practice of transmutation is to notice these thought forms as they arise, to reject the lower and to lift them into the higher, transforming even the remnants of pain into spiritual gold. Imagine your mind as an alchemist's crucible. When a fearful thought arises, do not cling to it or resist it with judgment. Instead, hold it in the flame of divine remembrance by silently affirming, "Beloved Spirit, transform this fear into courage, this shadow into light." As you repeat this, feel the energy of fear dissolving upward, carried by a golden current flowing through your spine, purified and rewoven into strength. Next, bring prana life force into this practice. Sit quietly, straighten your spine, and gently lift your gaze to the spiritual eye. Breathe slowly and deeply, and as you inhale, visualize golden light streaming into the crown of your head, flowing down the astral spine like a river of divine energy. With each breath, silently think, life, force, flow through me as healing light. Feel this living current gathering in the center of your being, vibrating with vitality and peace. As you exhale, visualize this current radiating outward into every nerve, every tissue, every cell, washing away old stagnant vibrations and replacing them with luminous, intelligent life force. This is the moment when thought becomes transmuted, not merely imagined, but experienced as a tangible energy reshaping your body from within. The cells that once echoed the vibrations of past negativity begin to hum with divine light. The astral body, previously weighed down by karmic impressions, grows lighter and brighter, lifting you toward a state of radiant health and clarity. Repeat this daily, and soon you will notice not just moments of peace, but a steady, underlying joy that transforms your very presence. Now, let us seal this sacred practice with a short yet potent affirmation. Place your hand upon your heart and silently whisper, I think divine thoughts. I radiate divine health. My cells are alive with Spirit's joy. Every breath renews me in God's light. Feel this not as a hope, but as a living truth vibrating within you. In the next part of our journey, beloved one, we shall explore the hidden link between these luminous thoughts, the flow of prana, and the astral spinal network, the divine pathway through which Spirit continually reshapes your physical and spiritual destiny. Beloved soul, let us now journey into the inner sanctuary of your being, where unseen rivers of divine power flow ceaselessly. Yogananda revealed that prana, the intelligent life force of Spirit, is the true architect of health, vitality, and spiritual awakening. Your thoughts are the captains, but prana is the ship that carries those thoughts into every cell of your body. Without prana, thought alone remains like a song written on paper but never sung. With prana awakened and guided, divine thought becomes a living vibration that rewires your cells and uplifts your consciousness toward immortality. The astral spine is the pathway for this miraculous transformation. Invisible to physical sight, it is a luminous channel running from the base of your spine to the point between your eyebrows, lined with spiritual centers, or chakras, that act as gateways for cosmic energy to flow. Each thought you hold gently influences this astral spinal network, opening or constricting these gateways, allowing prana either to rise toward higher consciousness or to sink into the heaviness of worldly vibrations. When fear or anger dominates the mind, prana is pulled downward and outward, draining life force and weakening the body's ability to regenerate. But when you think divine, uplifting thoughts, when you turn inward towards Spirit with devotion and calmness, prana is drawn upward like a golden flame, illuminating the brain, purifying the nervous system, and infusing your cells with the intelligence of the soul itself. Imagine, beloved, a hidden power station within you, sending currents of cosmic electricity through delicate wires to every corner of your being. If those wires are tangled with confusion, clogged by restless thoughts, the current falters and cells are starved of their divine nourishment. Yet the moment you align your thoughts with Spirit, the channels clear, and life force flows freely again. In this way, every chakra becomes a transformer of divine energy, translating the vibration of God's wisdom into physical vitality, mental clarity, and spiritual bliss. Let us now practice a simple but potent way to harmonize this pranic flow. Sit upright with your gaze softly lifted to the spiritual eye. Inhale slowly, visualizing a stream of radiant light rising up your spine like a golden river. As the breath ascends, silently affirm, divine energy flows upward, awakening every center. Hold the breath gently, feeling this light gather at the spiritual eye, bright and powerful. Then exhale slowly, imagining this same light cascading gently down, bathing every cell in golden warmth, washing away old impressions of sickness or fatigue. Repeat this sacred circulation several times, allowing the rhythm of breath and thought to awaken prana's silent intelligence. In this state, beloved, you become a co-creator with Spirit. Thoughts of divine health and light are now carried effortlessly through your pranic channels, impressing themselves upon your astral body, which in turn reshapes the physical temple you inhabit. This is the forgotten science of true healing, not found in external remedies alone, but in the conscious cooperation between divine thought and prana's living current within you. In the next chapter of this sacred journey, we shall deepen this understanding with a Kriya-based renewal practice, a spiritual technique that gathers prana, circulates it through the astral spinal highway, and infuses every cell with the immortal vibration of the soul. Beloved one, let us now step deeper into the luminous sanctuary of divine renewal, where Yogananda's sacred teachings reveal a method so profound that it can awaken dormant vitality, clear lifetimes of tension from the astral spine, and transform the way your very cells vibrate. This Kriya-inspired practice is not merely a breathing exercise or a mental visualization. It is the conscious circulation of cosmic energy, a direct communion with spirit through the pathways of prana that silently govern your existence. Sit with me now in stillness. Straighten your spine so that it stands like a living altar, a column of divine light connecting the earthly body to the infinite heavens. Gently lift your gaze to the point between your eyebrows, the spiritual eye, the divine doorway through which cosmic energy flows most freely. Breathe in slowly, drawing the life force upward from the base of your spine, as though inhaling the golden essence of God Himself. Feel this current rise through each chakra, illuminating them one by one, purifying the subtle channels that have long been knotted by restless thought and worldly desires. Hold the breath softly, not with tension, but with sacred reverences. You silently affirm, "In Thy light my cells awaken. In Thy power I am renewed." Visualize your astral spine glowing like molten gold, radiating warmth and vitality into every nerve, every muscle, every corner of your being. Then exhale slowly, letting the divine current flow downward in a gentle shower of sparkling energy, washing away all traces of fatigue, pain, or karmic residue that has clung to you through the years. Each exhalation becomes an act of purification, each inhalation an act of divine remembrance. Continue this circulation, moving breath and thought together as one, until you feel not only the physical movement of air but the subtle tingling of prana coursing through your body like rivers of light. With each cycle, you are not just breathing, you are rewiring your cells, dissolving old patterns of decay, and imprinting upon them the intelligence of spirit. This is how great yogis and saints defy the limits of time and illness, glowing with a light that does not belong to flesh alone, but to the immortal soul shining through it. Beloved, know this truth deeply. Every time you practice this Kriya-inspired renewal, you are not only cleansing your body, but also clearing the karmic vibrations stored in your astral sheath. These vibrations, often carried across lifetimes, subtly influence the health and fate of your current incarnation. By consciously directing prana upward with divine thought, you untangle these karmic threads and awaken the blueprint of divine perfection that has always been hidden within you. In the next sacred step of our journey, we shall explore how to take this awakened energy and weave it into your daily life, how to maintain this new vibration through conscious thought, noble action, and spiritual discipline, until every moment of your day becomes a silent meditation of cellular and soul renewal. Beloved soul, having now awakened the flow of divine prana and infused your cells with the luminous vibration of spirit, you must learn to carry this sacred current with you into the river of daily life. It is not enough to feel divine renewal only during moments of meditation and breathwork. The great masters teach that every thought, word, and action throughout the day can either sustain this higher vibration or scatter it like wind blowing through sand. To truly rewire your cells and transform your destiny, you must live as a conscious channel of divine energy at every moment, turning the ordinary rhythms of life into a ceaseless meditation. Begin each morning by returning immediately to stillness before the noise of the world intrudes. Sit in silence, spine tall, gaze lifted gently to the spiritual eye, and remember the golden current that you circulated during your sacred Kriya practice. Whisper inwardly to your cells, "Awaken again." Remain in divine harmony. This first conscious act of the day imprints upon your astral body a vibration of steadiness and devotion that subtly guides your actions long after you have left your seat of meditation. As you move through your tasks, whether working, speaking, walking, or even eating, remain aware of the life force moving within you. The breath you draw is not mere air. It is Spirit's energy feeding your nervous system and sustaining the harmony you have kindled. Pause frequently to silently affirm, I move in God, I think in God. My body is Spirit's living temple. Each such affirmation strengthens the neural and astral pathways that link thought to divine vitality, helping your cells retain the renewed patterns established in meditation. Guard also the atmosphere of your mind. Negative thoughts are not harmless. They are like thorns piercing the tender tissue of your astral sheath, interrupting the flow of cosmic life force and gradually altering cellular health. When you notice anger, fear, or despair beginning to rise, stop and breathe. Lift your gaze inwardly and gently redirect that energy upward, as you did in the Kriya practice. Whisper, Beloved Spirit, lift this shadow into thy light. In this way, you train your mind to become a servant of Spirit rather than a tyrant of the senses. And your cells respond by glowing with divine coherence rather than discord. To sustain this new vibrational state, immerse yourself in uplifting environments. Surround yourself with people, words, and sounds that resonate with divine truth. For the company you keep silently influences the rhythm of your breath, the tone of your thoughts, and the vitality of your body. Read sacred scriptures, chant God's name throughout the day, and spend time in nature where prana flows abundantly, harmonizing your astral and physical forms. Finally, before sleep, return once more to the golden current. Sit in stillness and circulate divine light through your spine, washing away any disturbances of the day. Offer every thought, every action, every impression to the infinite, whispering, Beloved Spirit, I rest now in thee. Purify my cells, awaken my soul, carry me into thy boundless light. Sleep then becomes not a loss of awareness, but a silent meditation where your astral body continues to absorb divine energy, preparing you for another day of radiant living. In the next sacred step of our journey, beloved, we shall enter the deepest revelation of Yogananda's teaching on thought, how it not only rewires your cells for health and vitality, but also awakens hidden spiritual powers, magnetizing your soul toward divine realization and ultimate liberation. Beloved, now that you understand how sacred thought and divine prana sustain the living harmony of your body, let us step into the most wondrous revelation of all. When your thoughts are fully rewired by Spirit, they do more than heal flesh and uplift vitality. They open hidden gateways of consciousness, awakening spiritual powers that have slept within you for lifetimes, powers that draw your soul ever closer to divine realization and ultimate liberation. Yogananda often spoke of thought as a magnet. Ordinary, restless thoughts are weak magnets, scattering energy outward, clinging to the world of senses, desires, and fleeting illusions. But when your thinking becomes still, uplifted, and saturated with divine remembrance, its magnetism grows powerful enough to reorder the very currents of life within you and around you. Your thoughts begin to attract vibrations of health, joy, wisdom, and spiritual companionship from the unseen astral realms, silently reshaping your destiny without strain or worldly striving. This magnetism is not mere chance, it is a divine law. As your thoughts climb higher, they naturally align with cosmic intelligence, drawing streams of prana downward through the crown, energizing the brain, awakening dormant centers of perception in the spine. These centers, which most people feel only dimly, begin to vibrate with divine energy when the mind is pure and steady, opening the intuitive faculties of the soul. Suddenly, you may sense the thoughts of others without words, feel divine guidance whispering through intuition, or experience moments of expanded awareness where you perceive the interconnected web of Spirit flowing through all things. The saints and masters did not develop these abilities by chasing miracles or seeking worldly powers. They simply purified their thoughts until their minds were no longer clouds obscuring the sun of Spirit, but crystal clear lenses through which divine light could shine unobstructed. In this state, every cell of their body vibrated with cosmic harmony, every thought radiated blessings, and their very presence healed and inspired those around them without effort. This is why Yogananda said that one who has mastered the power of divine thought becomes a human dynamo of Spirit, silently uplifting countless souls. Pause now and imagine this transformation quietly unfolding in your own life. See yourself sitting in meditation, your mind clear, thoughts flowing upward toward the infinite. Feel currents of divine energy rising in your spine, illuminating your brain with waves of joy and understanding. With each breath, your cells glow brighter, your heart feels lighter, your intuition sharpens, and the world around you subtly shifts to mirror the inner light now radiating from you. This is not fantasy, it is the soul awakening to its true nature as a spark of the infinite, rewriting its own destiny through the silent command of spirit-infused thought. Beloved, when you live in this way, you no longer fear illness, decay, or limitation. You recognize that you are not a fragile body at the mercy of time, but a channel of divine intelligence capable of transforming every circumstance through the vibration of higher thought. You become a living example of Yogananda's promise. That man, made in the image of God, carries within himself the power to transcend all suffering and return to the boundless freedom of spirit. In the final step of this sacred journey, we shall seal these teachings with a divine affirmation and meditation practice, a living prayer that you can repeat daily to rewire your cells, elevate your thoughts, and awaken the hidden spiritual power that unites you forever with the infinite. Beloved soul, let us now bring together all that we have shared, every insight, every practice, every whisper of divine truth, and weave it into a living, breathing ritual of transformation. This closing affirmation and meditation is not merely a final note to our journey. It is a sacred key that can open for you a new chapter of existence, where every thought is aligned with spirit, every cell hums with divine intelligence, and every breath draws you nearer to the eternal freedom of your soul. Sit now in stillness, spine erect, shoulders relaxed, the crown of your head gently lifted toward heaven. Close your eyes and turn your gaze upward to the point between the eyebrows, where divine light silently beckons. Place your right hand softly upon your heart, feeling its quiet rhythm, the pulse of life flowing from the infinite into every cell of your being. Let the breath settle naturally, as though the universe itself is breathing through you. Now inhale slowly, deeply, as if drawing streams of golden light from the boundless heavens above. As this luminous energy fills your lungs, silently affirm, every breath is divine energy. Every thought is spirit's wisdom. Hold the breath for a moment, feeling this truth vibrating through your chest, your spine, your entire body. Then exhale gently, releasing every remnant of fear, sorrow, or worldly attachment into the vastness of God's light. With this exhalation, silently say, I am cleansed, I am renewed, I am one with the infinite. With each new breath, feel the golden current rising from the base of your spine upward through every chakra, illuminating them like radiant lamps along a sacred temple path. As this energy ascends, whisper inwardly, my body is spirit's temple. My cells are rivers of divine light. As you exhale, visualize these rivers flowing outward into your arms, your legs, your entire being, carrying blessings of health, joy, and wisdom to every part of you. Now, beloved, lift both hands slightly, palms upward, as though offering your very being to the divine. Silently speak from the depths of your soul. Beloved Spirit, let every thought I think be thy thought. Let every word I speak be thy song. Let every cell of my body shine with thy light. Pause in this prayerful offering and feel a wave of peace descending gently upon you, like a celestial hand resting on your head, blessing you with calm and silent strength. Finally, place your hands softly on your lap and repeat 3 times with deep feeling. I am a spark of the infinite. My mind is rewired by divine wisdom. My body vibrates with Spirit's eternal joy. As these words echo within, remain in silence for a few moments. Feel your cells humming with divine vitality, your thoughts purified and uplifted, your soul expanding beyond the confines of time and space. In this silence, you are no longer a seeker bound to earthly limitations. You are a radiant channel of cosmic intelligence, living as a reflection of the infinite. Carry this affirmation with you each day. Repeat it upon waking, before sleep, and in moments of challenge or doubt. Each repetition will deepen its imprint upon your astral body, gradually transforming your physical cells, awakening hidden spiritual powers, and guiding you step by step toward the highest realization that you were never merely human, but always and forever divine. Beloved, know this truth eternally. Divine thought, when aligned with spirit, holds the power to rewire every cell, heal every wound, dissolve every shadow, and awaken you fully to the boundless joy of your immortal soul. Live this truth, breathe this light, and walk with a serene knowing that you and the infinite are one, now and for all eternity. Beloved one, now let us create together a short yet potent daily version of this meditation and affirmation, designed so that even in the busiest moments of your life, you can return to the silent temple of spirit within and reawaken the vibration of divine thought in every cell of your being. This practice requires no elaborate preparation, only your willingness to pause, breathe, and remember your eternal connection to the infinite. Find a quiet place where you can sit upright for just a few minutes. Close your eyes and gently lift your inner gaze to the spiritual eye. Place one hand over your heart and feel its steady rhythm. As you inhale slowly, visualize a golden light streaming down from above, filling your heart and spine with warmth. Silently affirm, "Divine light flows into me now." As you hold the breath softly, feel this light radiating outward into every cell of your body, awakening dormant vitality and wisdom. Then exhale gently, releasing all tension, and silently affirm, "I am renewed. I am light." Repeat this simple breath and affirmation 3 times, allowing each cycle to take you deeper into calmness and divine remembrance. Now, still with eyes closed, whisper inwardly, "Every thought is a seed of spirit. Every cell vibrates with God's joy." Visualize your entire being glowing softly like a lamp in the darkness, spreading silent rays of healing and peace all around you. To seal the practice, bring your palms together in front of your heart, and with reverent devotion, repeat 3 times. "I am a spark of the infinite. My mind is rewired by divine wisdom. My body shines with Spirit's eternal joy." After this final affirmation, sit for just a moment in silence, feeling the stillness of the breath and the subtle hum of divine energy coursing through you. In this silence, know that you have touched the eternal source of life force, that every cell has been reminded of its divine blueprint, and that your soul has quietly taken another step toward boundless freedom and joy. Practice this brief meditation at dawn to begin your day infused with divine clarity, at midday to realign your energy, and before sleep to cleanse and uplift your astral body during rest. Over time, this short practice becomes a sacred habit, a daily rewiring of your thoughts and cells, until you no longer feel separated from spirit, but live each moment as a luminous expression of the infinite. Close your eyes, beloved soul, and gently lift your gazano with the physical eyes, but with the quiet inner gaze of spirito, the point between the eyebrows, the window where divine light softly shines. Place your hand over your heart and feel the steady rhythm of life, each beat a whisper from the infinite calling you home. Now, inhale slowly and deeply, imagining golden light descending from above, flowing into the crown of your head, filling your heart, and cascading through your entire spine like a river of celestial energy. Silently affirm within, "Divine light flows into me now." Hold this breath softly, feeling this radiant light spreading to every cell, awakening hidden strength and wisdom. As you exhale slowly, releasing all heaviness and tension, silently say, "I am renewed, I am light." Once more, breathe in golden light, feel it streaming through your being as a silent blessing, and whisper inwardly, "Every breath awakens divine power within me." Hold it gently in stillness, and as you exhale, surrender all worries, silently affirming, "I release all shadows. I shine with Spirit's joy." A final breath now, deeper, slower, golden rays of the infinite filling you completely. Silently say, "Every cell of my body vibrates with God's light." Hold, feeling this truth humming in the depths of your soul. Exhale, letting your entire being rest in peace, whispering, "I am one with the infinite." Now, beloved, bring your palms softly together before your heart. With profound reverence, silently repeat 3 times. "I am a spark of the infinite. My mind is rewired by divine wisdom. My body shines with Spirit's eternal joy." Remain in stillness for a moment, sensing golden light surrounding you, flowing through you, transforming you. Every thought now carries divine intelligence. Every cell hums with eternal vitality. Feel this truth as a living presence. You are light, you are divine energy, you are a radiant expression of spirit. When you are ready, take a gentle breath and slowly open your eyes. Carry this vibration with you into your day, knowing that in just a few minutes of sacred remembrance, you have touched the infinite and awakened the silent power of divine thought within you. Beloved soul, before we part in the flow of words and sound, let me place upon your spirit a final blessing, a sacred charge to carry with you into every moment of your earthly journey. Close your eyes once more and imagine the great sun of divine love shining above you, its rays pouring gently down upon your head, washing away every trace of doubt, fear, and weariness. Feel this radiant warmth sinking into your heart, into your very breath, into the silent rhythm of your soul, awakening the remembrance of who you truly are. Know this: you were never a frail mortal, tossed helplessly on the waves of circumstance. You were never bound by the fleeting shadows of thought or the shifting tides of fate. You are, and always have been, a spark of the infinite flame, a ray of the same eternal light that moves the stars, that breathes life into galaxies, that whispers silently in every moment of stillness. When you close your eyes in prayer, when you breathe with reverence, when you lift your thoughts towards spirit, you awaken this hidden truth and unlock a power no earthly force can diminish. I bless you now with the calm assurance that divine wisdom guides your every step. May your thoughts be lifted upward like golden birds soaring in the clear sky of spirit. May your breath carry silent currents of divine energy into every cell of your being, rewriting the script of your life with harmony, health, and joy. May your inner gaze remain fixed upon the light that never wavers, even as the world around you shifts and changes. Carry this blessing as a living fire in your heart. I am a spark of the infinite. I live in the light of divine wisdom. No shadow can touch my soul, for I am forever one with the eternal. Walk now in this truth, beloved, and watch as unseen hands of grace rearrange your destiny. Each thought aligned with spirit dissolves years of hidden burdens, rewires lifetimes of limitation, and prepares you for a future radiant with divine freedom. Go forth then, not as a seeker uncertain of the path, but as a luminous channel of the infinite, a silent beacon of God's love on earth. Ancient people knew a secret about legs and long life that we've forgotten in modern times. They knew how to keep their legs strong and their bodies healthy well into old age, using simple movements anyone can do. This isn't about hard exercise or spending money on treatments. It's about working with your body the way it was meant to work. Today you'll learn this forgotten wisdom that can change your health and add years to your life. When you understand how your legs connect to your whole body's health, you'll never think about walking the same way again. In the next 45 minutes, you're going to discover the ancient connection between strong legs and long life and learn simple practices that will strengthen your legs while improving your overall health and vitality. You'll understand why your legs are the foundation of your body's health system and how proper movement can prevent many common health problems. You'll learn specific walking and movement techniques that turn everyday activities into healing practices. Discover how to improve circulation and energy flow through your legs, and understand the spiritual principles that make these physical practices even more powerful. This isn't about intense workouts or complicated exercise routines. It's about simple, natural movements that work with your body's design to create strength, health, and longevity that anyone can achieve at any age. Most people think that weak legs and health problems are just part of getting older, but this isn't true. Throughout history, many cultures have known how to keep people strong and healthy well into their later years through simple practices that modern medicine has forgotten. The problem with most exercise advice is that it focuses on forcing your body to do difficult things instead of helping your body do what it naturally wants to do. When you work against your body's natural design, exercise becomes hard and often leads to injury. But when you work with your body's wisdom, movement becomes healing. What I'm going to share today comes from ancient wisdom traditions that understood the body as a whole system where every part affects every other part. These teachings show us how to use simple, natural movements to strengthen not just our muscles, but our entire life force energy. This knowledge has helped thousands of people regain strength in their legs, improve their health, and feel more energetic and alive, regardless of their age or current fitness level. Today we'll explore 4 important aspects of leg strength and long life that will transform how you think about movement and health. First, I'll explain why your legs are so important for your overall health and how weakness in your legs affects your entire body's ability to stay strong and vital. Then, we'll discover the ancient walking practice that turns every step into healing medicine. You'll learn specific techniques for walking that improve circulation, strengthen muscles, and increase life energy throughout your body. Next, I'll teach you simple daily practices that keep your legs strong and flexible, using movements you can do anywhere, anytime. These aren't difficult exercises. They're natural movements that work with your body's design. Finally, we'll explore how combining physical movement with spiritual awareness creates even more powerful results. When you understand the spiritual principles behind physical health, your practices become much more effective. What might surprise you most is that the strongest, healthiest people aren't necessarily those who do the hardest workouts. They're often people who do simple practices consistently while understanding how their body and spirit work together. By the end of today's teaching, you'll have practical tools that you can use immediately to start strengthening your legs and improving your health in ways that support a long, vital life. So, prepare to learn ancient wisdom that can help you feel stronger and healthier, starting with your very next step. My dear friend, to understand why strong legs are the key to a long life, you must first recognize that your body is not just a collection of separate parts, but a unified system where every element works together to maintain health and vitality. In the ancient teachings I studied, the human body was understood as a temple of divine consciousness, with each part serving the whole in perfect harmony when functioning according to divine law. Your legs, far from being simply tools for walking, are actually the foundation pillars of your entire health structure. Think of your legs as the roots of a great tree. When the roots are strong and healthy, they can draw nourishment from the earth and send it up through the trunk to every branch and leaf. But when the roots become weak, the entire tree begins to suffer, no matter how beautiful its upper branches might appear. Your legs serve this same function in your body. They are not just muscles and bones for movement, they are powerful pumps that circulate life-giving blood and energy throughout your entire system. When your legs are strong and active, they pump fresh, oxygenated blood up through your body, nourishing every organ, every cell, every tissue with the vital force it needs to maintain health. But when your legs become weak or inactive, this circulation diminishes. Blood and lymph fluid begin to pool in your lower body instead of flowing freely throughout your system. This stagnation creates the conditions where disease and aging accelerate far beyond what nature intended. I have observed this principle countless times in my years of teaching. Students who maintain strong, active legs well into their later years also maintain sharp minds, healthy hearts, and vibrant energy. Those who allowed their legs to become weak inevitably experience decline in all areas of their health, regardless of what other health practices they followed. Modern science has begun to confirm what ancient wisdom always knew, that leg strength is one of the most reliable predictors of longevity and overall health. When doctors measure leg strength in elderly patients, they can predict with remarkable accuracy who will live longest and who will maintain their independence and mental clarity. This connection exists because your legs contain some of the largest muscles in your body. When these muscles are strong and regularly used, they act like powerful hearts, pumping blood and lymph fluid throughout your system. The rhythmic contraction and relaxation of strong leg muscles creates a pumping action that assists your heart and improves circulation to every part of your body. Strong legs also maintain the structural integrity of your entire body. When your leg muscles are weak, your posture suffers. Poor posture compresses your internal organs, restricts your breathing, and creates tension throughout your spine and nervous system. This physical compression interferes with the flow of life energy that the yogic teachings call prana, leading to diminished vitality and accelerated aging. But the connection between leg strength and longevity goes even deeper than physical circulation. In the ancient understanding, your legs are major channels through which life energy flows between your body and the earth. When you walk consciously with strong, flexible legs, you draw vital energy up from the earth through the soles of your feet and circulate this energy throughout your entire being. This earth energy, which some traditions call telluric force, is essential for maintaining the electrical balance in your body. Modern people, who spend most of their time separated from direct earth contact by shoes and floors, often suffer from what could be called energy deficiency, a lack of the grounding, stabilizing earth energy that helps maintain physical and emotional equilibrium. Your legs, when properly used, serve as conductors for this earth energy. Each step you take can potentially draw healing, grounding energy up through your feet and legs, distributing it throughout your body through the network of energy channels that yogic science describes in detail. I have taught students simple practices of conscious walking that dramatically improve not only their leg strength, but their overall energy, mental clarity, and emotional balance. When you learn to walk with awareness of this energy exchange between your body and the earth, every step becomes a form of healing practice. The lymphatic system, which is crucial for immune function and the removal of toxins from your body, depends heavily on the pumping action of your leg muscles. Unlike your cardiovascular system, which has the heart as its central pump, your lymphatic system has no central pump. It depends entirely on muscle contractions to move lymph fluid throughout your body. Your leg muscles, being the largest in your body, are the primary drivers of lymphatic circulation. When your legs are strong and regularly active, they efficiently pump lymph fluid throughout your system, helping to remove toxins and maintain immune function. When your legs become weak or sedentary, lymphatic circulation slows, leading to toxic accumulation and weakened immunity. This is why people who become bedridden or wheelchair-bound often develop infections and other health complications that seem unrelated to their original condition. The lack of leg muscle activity severely compromises their lymphatic circulation, making them vulnerable to illness in ways that go far beyond their primary health challenge. Your brain health is also intimately connected to your leg strength and activity. The rhythmic muscle contractions involved in walking and leg movement help pump cerebrospinal fluid around your brain and spinal cord. This fluid cushions and nourishes your nervous system, and its proper circulation is essential for maintaining mental clarity and neurological function. Recent research has shown that people with stronger legs maintain better cognitive function as they age, and that regular walking and leg exercise can actually increase the size of brain regions associated with memory and learning. The ancient teachings recognize this mind-body connection, understanding that a strong, active body supports a clear, vibrant mind. Your legs also play a crucial role in maintaining proper hormone balance throughout your body. The large muscle groups in your legs, when regularly stimulated through movement, help regulate the production and circulation of hormones that affect everything from your mood and energy levels to your metabolism and immune function. Weight-bearing activity through your legs is essential for maintaining bone density throughout your body. The stress that proper leg use places on your skeletal system signals your body to continue producing strong bones. Without this regular stimulus, bone loss accelerates, leading to the brittle bones and fractures that plague many elderly people. But perhaps most importantly, strong legs represent your body's connection to the life force itself. In yogic understanding, the ability to stand upright and move freely through the world is a direct expression of the divine life energy flowing through your physical form. When this energy flows freely through strong, flexible legs, it supports vitality and health throughout your entire being. When you understand your legs as more than just mechanical appendages, when you recognize them as channels for life energy, pumps for circulation, supports for your entire structural system, and connections to the Earth's vital force, you begin to treat them with the respect and care they deserve. This shift in understanding naturally leads to the practices that can maintain and restore leg strength throughout your life. The ancient people who lived long, healthy lives understood these principles instinctively. They built leg-strengthening activities into their daily lives through walking, farming, dancing, and other natural movements. They recognized that maintaining strong legs was not separate from maintaining overall health. It was the foundation upon which all other health practices could build. Now that you understand why your legs are so crucial to your overall health and longevity, let me teach you the sacred art of conscious walking, a practice that can transform every step you take into healing medicine for your entire body. Walking is the most natural and fundamental human movement, yet most people walk unconsciously, missing the tremendous healing potential that conscious walking offers. When you learn to walk with awareness, intention, and proper technique, you transform a simple daily activity into one of the most powerful health practices available. The ancient teachings I learned emphasized that every action performed with consciousness becomes sacred. When you bring spiritual awareness to the act of walking, You align your physical movement with divine intelligence, allowing your body to function as it was designed to function by the Creator. Conscious walking begins with proper posture and alignment. Stand tall with your spine naturally erect, as if a golden thread extends from the crown of your head up to heaven, gently lifting you toward the divine. Your shoulders should be relaxed and level, your arms hanging naturally at your sides, your breathing deep and rhythmic. Feel your feet making full contact with the earth beneath you. The soles of your feet are like hands reaching down to touch the earth and draw its healing energy up into your body. As you prepare to walk, take a moment to feel this connection between your body and the earth that supports you. Begin walking slowly and deliberately. Place each foot down with gentle firmness, allowing the heel to touch first, then rolling through to the ball of your foot and toes. This rolling motion activates the natural pumping mechanism in your feet and lower legs, helping to circulate blood and lymph throughout your body. As you walk, maintain awareness of your breath. Breathe deeply and rhythmically, coordinating your breath with your steps in whatever pattern feels natural and comfortable. Some students find it helpful to inhale for 3 steps and exhale for 3 steps. But the exact pattern is less important than maintaining conscious awareness of your breathing while walking. With each step, visualize divine energy entering through the soles of your feet and traveling up through your legs into your entire body. See this energy as golden light that cleanses and energizes every cell it touches. Feel this life-giving energy flowing up through your legs, into your torso, arms, and head, revitalizing your entire being with each step. Maintain soft, relaxed attention on your surroundings while you walk. Walk as if you are in a sacred space, appreciating the beauty around you and feeling gratitude for your body's ability to move freely through the world. This attitude of reverence and appreciation enhances the healing effects of your walking practice. The speed of conscious walking is typically slower than ordinary walking, but not so slow as to feel unnatural. You want to move at a pace that allows you to maintain full awareness of your body, breath, and surroundings, while still experiencing the cardiovascular benefits of rhythmic movement. Pay particular attention to engaging your leg muscles fully with each step. Feel your calf muscles contract as you push off with each step, and feel your thigh muscles engage to lift and place each foot. This conscious engagement strengthens your muscles more effectively than mechanical walking because you are directing your life force energy to support the physical activity. As you walk, maintain a gentle smile and a sense of joy in your heart. Walking should not be a grim exercise in discipline, but a celebration of your body's capacity for movement and your connection to the divine energy that animates all life. When you walk with joy, your body responds with increased vitality and healing. Include periods of walking meditation in your conscious walking practice. As you walk, you can repeat a favorite prayer, mantra, or affirmation silently in rhythm with your steps. This practice unifies your physical movement with spiritual aspiration, creating a powerful combination of body and soul development. You can also practice walking in silence, using the rhythmic movement as a form of moving meditation. Allow your mind to become quiet and receptive as you walk, opening your consciousness to receive divine guidance and inspiration. Many of my students have received profound insights and spiritual experiences during these periods of meditative walking. When walking uphill or on challenging terrain, use these opportunities to build strength while maintaining conscious awareness. Breathe more deeply to provide your muscles with adequate oxygen, and feel gratitude for your body's ability to meet these challenges. View hills and obstacles not as burdens, but as opportunities to develop greater strength and resilience. For those who are older or have physical limitations, conscious walking can be adapted to any level of ability. Even slow, short walks performed with full awareness provide tremendous benefits. If walking long distances is not possible, even walking around your home or garden with conscious awareness can improve circulation, energy, and overall health. The healing power of conscious walking increases when practiced in natural settings where you can connect directly with the earth's energy. Walking barefoot on natural surfaces like grass, sand, or smooth earth allows for the most direct exchange of energy between your body and the earth. If barefoot walking is not practical, choose shoes with thin, flexible soles that allow you to feel the ground beneath your feet. Water walking, whether in the ocean, a lake, or even a swimming pool, provides excellent resistance training for your legs while the water supports your body weight. The pressure of the water against your legs as you walk provides natural massage that improves circulation and reduces inflammation. Make conscious walking a regular part of your daily routine. Even 10 minutes of conscious walking each day can provide significant health benefits. As your leg strength and overall fitness improve, you can gradually increase the duration and intensity of your walking practice. Keep a simple record of how you feel before and after your walking practice. Most students notice improvements in energy, mood, sleep quality, and overall sense of well-being within just a few weeks of regular conscious walking. These improvements motivate continued practice and help you recognize the profound effects of this simple yet powerful health practice. The key to transforming ordinary walking into healing medicine is the quality of consciousness you bring to the activity. When you walk with awareness, gratitude, proper technique, and spiritual intention, you activate healing mechanisms in your body that remain dormant during unconscious movement. This conscious approach to walking was practiced by spiritual seekers throughout history as a form of moving prayer that united physical health with spiritual development. When you walk in this sacred manner, you join a tradition of conscious movement that has supported human health and spiritual growth for thousands of years. Now, let me teach you simple daily practices that will keep your legs strong and flexible throughout your life, using movements that work with your body's natural design rather than against it. The beauty of these practices lies in their simplicity and accessibility. You don't need special equipment, expensive gym memberships, or complex routines. These are natural movements that can be integrated into your daily activities, turning ordinary tasks into opportunities for building strength and maintaining health. The first practice I want to share is what I call greeting the day with your legs. Each morning before getting out of bed, take a few moments to awaken your legs gently and prepare them for the day's activities. While lying in bed, extend your legs and flex your feet, pointing your toes toward your head. Hold this position for a few seconds, feeling the stretch through your calves and the backs of your legs. Then point your toes away from you, feeling the stretch through the tops of your feet and shins. Repeat this gentle flexing several times to awaken circulation in your legs. Next, lift one leg at a time toward your chest, gently hugging your knee with your hands. Feel the stretch through your hip and lower back. Hold for a few breaths, then lower the leg and repeat with the other side. This simple movement helps maintain hip flexibility and gently activates your leg muscles before you stand. Before rising from bed, sit on the edge with your feet flat on the floor. Take several deep breaths and feel your connection to the earth through your feet. This moment of conscious preparation helps your body transition gracefully from rest to activity. Throughout your day, look for opportunities to use your legs in strengthening ways. When sitting in a chair, practice rising to standing without using your hands for assistance. This simple movement, repeated several times, provides excellent strength training for your thigh muscles and helps maintain the functional strength needed for independence as you age. While standing in lines or waiting, practice rising onto your toes and lowering back down. This calf strengthening exercise improves circulation and can be done discreetly anywhere. You can also practice standing on one foot for several seconds, then switching to the other foot. This balance practice strengthens small, stabilizing muscles and helps prevent falls. When climbing stairs, use this daily activity as an opportunity for leg strengthening. Place your entire foot on each step rather than just your toes, and engage your leg muscles fully to lift your body. If you need to hold the railing for balance, do so, but try to let your legs do most of the work rather than pulling yourself up with your arms. The ancient practice of sitting and rising from the floor is one of the most complete leg strengthening exercises available. In cultures where people regularly sit on the floor, leg strength and flexibility are naturally maintained throughout life. Practice sitting cross-legged on the floor for short periods each day, gradually increasing the time as your flexibility improves. When rising from the floor, use your leg muscles to lift yourself rather than depending on furniture or your hands for assistance. This movement pattern maintains the functional strength that keeps you independent and mobile throughout your life. Simple stretching practices performed daily keep your legs flexible and prevent the stiffness that contributes to falls and injuries. Stand facing a wall with your hands pressed against it, then step back with one foot, keeping both heels flat on the ground. Feel the stretch through your calf muscle, hold for 30 seconds, then switch legs. Practice the ancient yogic posture of standing forward fold to stretch the backs of your legs. Stand with your feet hip-width apart, then slowly bend forward from your hips, letting your arms hang toward the ground. Don't force the stretch. Simply allow gravity to gently lengthen the muscles along the backs of your legs. Hold for several breaths, then slowly roll up to standing. The warrior pose, adapted from ancient yoga traditions, builds strength throughout your legs while improving balance and focus. Step 1 foot forward into a long stride. Bend your front knee while keeping your back leg straight and strong. Hold this position while breathing deeply, feeling the strength building in both legs. Switch sides and repeat. Dancing, in any form that feels joyful to you, is one of the most complete practices for maintaining leg strength, flexibility, and coordination. The ancient wisdom traditions often included dance as both physical exercise and spiritual expression. Even gentle swaying to music while standing engages your leg muscles and brings joy to your practice. Gardening and household activities can become leg-strengthening practices when approached consciously. When weeding or planting, practice squatting down and rising up using your leg muscles rather than kneeling. When carrying groceries or other items, use proper posture and let your strong leg muscles support the load. Water-based practices provide gentle resistance that strengthens legs without stressing joints. If you have access to a pool, practice walking in chest-deep water, marching in place, or doing gentle leg swings. The water supports your body weight while providing resistance that builds strength. For those with limited mobility, even seated leg exercises can provide significant benefits. While sitting in a chair, practice extending one leg straight out in front of you, holding for several seconds, then lowering slowly. Repeat with the other leg. This simple movement strengthens thigh muscles and maintains knee function. The key to all these practices is consistency rather than intensity. Gentle, regular movement is far more beneficial than occasional intense exercise. Your body responds better to daily care and attention than to sporadic bursts of activity followed by long periods of inactivity. Listen to your body's wisdom and adapt these practices to your current abilities and limitations. If you experience pain, reduce the intensity or consult with healthcare providers. The goal is to work with your body's natural healing capacity, not to force it beyond its current capabilities. As you incorporate these simple practices into your daily life, pay attention to how your body responds. Most people notice increased energy, better balance, improved mood, and enhanced overall sense of well-being within just a few weeks of consistent practice. Remember that these physical practices become even more powerful when combined with spiritual awareness, gratitude, and joy. Approach your leg-strengthening activities not as burdensome exercise, but as opportunities to care for the magnificent body that serves as your temple in this lifetime. Now let me share with you how combining these physical practices with spiritual awareness creates even more profound healing and strengthening effects throughout your entire being. The ancient teachings I learned always emphasize that human beings are not merely physical bodies, but spiritual beings expressing through physical form. When you understand this truth and apply it to your health practices, you unlock levels of healing and vitality that purely physical approaches cannot achieve. Your body is animated by divine life force energy, which the yogic tradition calls prana. This life energy flows through your physical form via subtle channels, nourishing every cell and system with the vital force needed for optimal function. When this energy flows freely and abundantly, you experience vibrant health, clear thinking, and joyful emotions. When this energy becomes blocked or depleted, illness and aging accelerate. Physical movement and exercise affect not only your muscles, bones, and cardiovascular system, but also the flow of this subtle life energy throughout your being. When you perform physical practices with spiritual awareness, you consciously direct this life force to strengthen and heal your body in ways that mechanical exercise alone cannot accomplish. The foundation of spiritually aware physical practice is understanding that your consciousness directly affects your body's ability to heal and strengthen itself. Your thoughts, emotions, and spiritual state all influence the flow of healing energy through your physical form. When you approach leg-strengthening practices with joy, gratitude, and faith in your body's capacity for renewal, you enhance the physical benefits dramatically. Begin each practice session with a moment of reverent appreciation for your body and its remarkable abilities. Place your hands on your legs and silently thank them for their faithful service in carrying you through life. This attitude of gratitude creates a positive energy field that enhances the healing effects of whatever physical practices you perform. As you move through your strengthening exercises, maintain awareness of the divine life energy flowing through your legs and entire body. Visualize golden light filling your muscles as they contract and relax, bringing healing energy to every cell. This conscious direction of healing energy accelerates the strengthening and regeneration process beyond what physical movement alone can achieve. Practice sending loving thoughts to your legs as you exercise them. Instead of viewing your body as a machine that needs to be forced into compliance, treat it as a beloved friend deserving gentle care and appreciation. This loving attitude creates the optimal conditions for healing and strengthening to occur naturally. Include prayer in your physical practices, asking for divine blessing on your efforts to maintain health and strength. You might offer a simple prayer such as, "Divine Mother, please bless these practices with your healing grace. Help my body grow stronger in service of your love. May this strength serve not only my well-being, but enable me to better serve others." When you feel resistance, fatigue, or discomfort during your practices, breathe deeply and consciously relax into the sensation rather than fighting against it. Send breath and loving attention to any areas that feel challenged. This conscious relaxation allows your body's natural wisdom to guide you toward appropriate levels of effort while preventing injury from excessive strain. The ancient practice of affirmations combines positive thoughts with physical movement to program your subconscious mind for health and vitality. As you perform leg strengthening exercises, you might silently repeat affirmations such as, "My legs grow stronger and more flexible every day," or "Divine energy flows through my legs, bringing perfect health and vitality." These affirmations are not mere positive thinking, but conscious cooperation with the divine healing intelligence that operates through your body. When you align your thoughts with healing intentions while performing physical practices, you activate spiritual laws that accelerate the manifestation of health and strength. Meditation can be beautifully combined with gentle physical practices. As you perform slow, mindful movements, allow your mind to become quiet and receptive to divine guidance. Many students receive profound spiritual insights during these periods of meditative movement, as the rhythmic physical activity helps quiet mental chatter and open consciousness to higher wisdom. The breath serves as a bridge between your physical and spiritual nature. Conscious breathing during physical practices helps unite body and soul in collaborative healing. Breathe deeply and rhythmically as you move, visualizing healing energy entering with each inhalation and tension or fatigue, leaving with each exhalation. Gratitude is perhaps the most powerful spiritual practice you can combine with physical exercise. As you strengthen your legs, feel genuine appreciation for their ability to support and carry you. Extend this gratitude to include appreciation for your entire body, for your ability to move and exercise, and for the divine intelligence that coordinates all your body's complex functions. When you practice gratitude consistently, you create an energy of appreciation that attracts more reasons to be grateful. Students who maintain grateful attitudes during their health practices often experience accelerated healing and more enjoyable exercise sessions. The spiritual practice of surrendering outcomes while maintaining faithful effort creates optimal conditions for healing and strengthening. Perform your leg strengthening practices with dedication and consistency, but release attachment to specific results or timelines. Trust that divine intelligence working through your body knows exactly what healing and strengthening you need and will provide it according to perfect timing. This surrender doesn't mean being passive or uncommitted to your practices. It means combining wholehearted effort with peaceful acceptance of whatever results divine wisdom chooses to provide. This balance of effort and surrender reduces stress and anxiety while creating space for healing miracles to occur. Many students discover that their most significant improvements occur not during the exercise itself, but during periods of rest when their bodies integrate the benefits of their spiritual physical practices. Honor these rest periods as sacred time when divine healing energy does its deepest work. The practice of visualization can powerfully enhance physical strengthening exercises. As you work your leg muscles, visualize them growing stronger, more flexible, and more resilient. See healing light flowing through your bones, making them dense and strong. Picture your circulation improving and your entire body becoming more vital and energetic. This visualization is not wishful thinking, but conscious cooperation with your body's natural healing intelligence. When you provide clear, positive images of health and strength, your body's wisdom has a template to work toward in its healing and renewal processes. Group practice can amplify the spiritual dimensions of physical exercise. When possible, practice with others who share your understanding of spiritually conscious movement. The combined positive intentions and supportive energy of group practice often produce results that exceed what individual practice alone can achieve. Finally, remember that the ultimate goal of all physical practices is not just personal health and longevity, but the ability to serve divine purposes more effectively. When your body is strong, healthy, and vital, you can serve others with greater energy and focus. This service orientation transforms personal health practices into spiritual service, adding deeper meaning and enhanced effectiveness to all your efforts. When you approach leg strengthening and all health practices from this spiritually aware perspective, you discover that taking care of your body becomes a form of worship, a way of honoring the divine gift of physical life, while preparing yourself for greater spiritual service. My dear friend, what we've explored today reveals that strong legs and long life are not matters of luck or genetics. They're the natural result of working with your body's wisdom through simple, consistent practices. You now understand why your legs are the foundation of your overall health and vitality. You've learned how to transform ordinary walking into healing medicine, discovered simple daily practices that strengthen your legs naturally, and understand how combining physical movement with spiritual awareness creates even more powerful results. Remember, you don't need expensive equipment or complicated routines to build strong legs and improve your health. You just need to work with your body's natural design through conscious, gentle practices done consistently with love and awareness. The ancient wisdom that guided people to live long, healthy lives is not lost. It's available to you right now through simple practices that honor both your physical body and your spiritual nature. Your legs are not just tools for getting around. They are channels for life energy, pumps for circulation, and connections to the earth's healing force. Every step you take can be an opportunity for healing and strengthening when approached with consciousness and gratitude. Every simple movement can contribute to your health and longevity when performed with awareness of your body's remarkable wisdom. The practices I've shared are not burdens to add to your busy life, but ways to transform activities you're already doing into opportunities for greater health and vitality. Walking becomes meditation in motion. Daily tasks become strength-building opportunities. Simple stretches become prayers of appreciation for your body's faithful service. So starting with your very next step, remember that you have the power to strengthen your body and extend your life through simple, conscious movement. Every step can be healing medicine, every stretch can increase your vitality, and every moment of conscious movement can add to your health and longevity. I'm curious about your experiences with leg strength and health. Have you noticed connections between how your legs feel and your overall energy and health? What simple movements or walking practices have helped you feel stronger or more vital? Share your experiences in the comments. Your insights might inspire others to start their own journey towards stronger legs and better health. Another question for your reflection. How does it feel to think of your legs not just as tools for movement, but as sacred channels for life energy and foundations for your overall health? This shift in perspective often motivates people to care for their legs with greater appreciation and consistency. If this ancient wisdom about legs and longevity has inspired you to take better care of your body's foundation, I invite you to subscribe to our channel and consider joining our YouTube membership community. Your support helps us continue sharing these practical teachings for health and spiritual well-being. For those interested in more guidance about natural health and spiritual practices, join our free email community where I share additional techniques for maintaining vitality and strength at any age. You'll find the link in the description below. Remember, when you take care of your body with wisdom and love, you inspire others to do the same. Your commitment to health and conscious living creates ripples that help others remember the simple practices that support long, vital lives. Every time you choose to walk consciously rather than mechanically, every moment you spend strengthening your legs with awareness and gratitude, you contribute to a culture that values natural health and spiritual wisdom over quick fixes and complicated solutions. Your legs carry you through this precious lifetime, supporting your body and serving your spirit with remarkable faithfulness. When you honor this service through conscious care and appreciation, you create the conditions for them to serve you well for many years to come. The wisdom of the ancients is not ancient history. It's timeless truth that can guide you toward health and longevity starting today. Simple practices, performed consistently with love and awareness, create profound results that modern medicine is only beginning to understand. Your body knows how to be healthy, strong, and vital. Your legs know how to support you powerfully throughout a long life. The practices I've shared help you cooperate with this natural wisdom rather than working against it. Until we meet again in the wisdom that honors both body and spirit, may your legs carry you with strength and grace through many healthy, joyful years, and may every step you take be a step toward greater vitality and well-being. May the earth beneath your feet provide healing energy with every step. May your legs grow stronger and more flexible with each passing day. And may your understanding of your body as a sacred temple inspire you to care for it with the love and respect it deserves. Walk in consciousness, move with gratitude, and trust in the remarkable wisdom of your body to support you in health and strength throughout all the years of your beautiful life.